Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video, and in today's video, you see the title, we are going to have a little conversation about some of the female rap girls, Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj. So if you're interested in them, female rap, pop, conspiracy theories, strange topics, my unpopular opinions, whatever I feel like getting into for real, go on ahead and subscribe, and let's get into this video. Okay y'all, so I want to just have a conversation about something that I've been seeing on the internet, and also one of my subscribers gave me a video suggestion and they wanted to know my thoughts on this, so I'm gonna give it. Okay. So there's always this conversation that comes up when like the newer generation female rappers are being interviewed and they're asked like, who is your main inspiration, or who are your top 3 female rappers, or who are the GOAT female rappers that you would consider like the greatest of all time? And this question is always controversial because they'll end up saying an answer and then the public is like not necessarily okay with the answer. So what seems to be happening is a lot of the female rappers are naming Lil Kim as their main inspiration or the greatest of all time, or who is your biggest inspiration of female rapper? Who's your top female rapper? And they'll name Lil Kim. A lot of them are doing this. And so people are basically calling bullcrap on that answer. And somebody's probably about to say, well, what's wrong with that? She is the greatest of all time. She is the biggest female rapper. They should be naming Lil Kim as the GOAT because she is a GOAT. Whoa, slow down there. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Let me stop you there before you get there. Yes, that is absolutely 100% correct. Lil Kim was here before all of the female rappers that we have today, including Nicki Minaj. So yes, them naming Lil Kim as GOAT or inspiration or, you know, the greatest of all time or whatever they want to call her isn't necessarily incorrect. Like, that's not wrong at all. It's safe to say that that is exactly what Lil Kim is, okay? It's safe to say. And Nicki Minaj was definitely inspired by Lil Kim, especially in her early days, like Nicki Minaj's breakout era and all of that. So, yes. The problem, though, comes in for a lot of people when initially, like during the breakout stages of some of these rap girls' careers, like Megan Thee Stallion and Lotto are just examples that come to the top of my head first. But when in interviews before they fell out, Nicki Minaj was their main inspiration, or Nicki Minaj is the first person that they named. Not to say that they never named Lil Kim at all, but Nicki Minaj was named as their top inspiration, the person that they looked to the most for inspiration and that molded them and that they listened to the most as children and as teenagers, and who kind of inspired them to be the rappers that they are today. That's the problem people have, is more so, you know, Nicki Minaj being Nicki in the beginning, but then after they fell out with Nicki Minaj, then they don't acknowledge her, they don't credit her, they don't mention her, and they replace her with Lil Kim. So that's the problem. I don't think people are upset that Lil Kim was named, because a lot of these girls have named Lil Kim with Nicki Minaj included in the GOAT, you know, female rappers. It's when she's replaced with Lil Kim. So people are like, okay, but you were naming Nicki at first, and everybody was saying Nicki, and wanting Nicki this. But then after they fell out, Nicki is no longer mentioned as an inspiration. And that's the main issue.
GOAT female rapper, Lil Kim, for sure. Like,
Nicki is the queen, and any girl from this generation going forward who don't listen to Nicki is giving hater.
and timeless
Yeah, for sure,
music,
for sure.
timeless looks, like, gonna forever be like a staple in not
For
only
sure.
rap but like female rap.
Whatever. But when Nicki came out, baby, obsessed. Like, me as a young girl, I was obsessed with her as a woman, her confidence. I'm like, damn, she's a boss bitch. I want to be like that. And you know what's funny? I got in trouble. I probably should not be saying this, but I got in trouble because there's some Nicki Minaj picture that I seen, and she's biting her finger. I'm in 5th grade. I posted a picture on Facebook like, I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Like, what is you doing? Got in trouble for that. But I used to go home after school, watch her videos on YouTube and like study the lyrics. Like, I'll start a video over, you messed up, start over. So it's like when she had just dropped the Beat Me Up Scotty, that was so like nostalgic for me. I was like, oh my God, this bringing back.
Okay, so that was some clips and examples of like Lotto just in the early stages of her career kind of praising Nicki and naming her as her main inspo and saying that she, you know, studied Nicki Minaj and she was obsessed with her as a child. And people are like, well, why are they naming Lil Kim first if, you know, clearly the main inspiration has been Nicki Minaj, and they kind of stopped talking about her in interviews, which I'm going to get into that part in a second.
I used to want to be just like my mama.
Really?
Because my mama was a rapper. But my mama
What was the name?
Hollywood. But my mama's favorite female rapper was Lil Kim.
Okay.
So she put me on Biggie before she put me on Lil Kim, and I used to love Biggie so much. I still love Biggie. But she was like, if you like Biggie, I got something for you that's gonna fuck you up. So then she started playing me Kim, and I was like, what is this? So I definitely was on Kim early, but definitely my mama was my favorite female rapper.
Have you ever met Kim? Lil Kim?
Of course I've met Kim. Like, and you would think how much shit Lil Kim be talking with that deep ass voice on them fucking beats.
She's 6 foot tall.
You would think she finna be tall as a motherfucker and just the voice finna be deep like that.
Okay, so that was also like a clip of Megan Thee Stallion that was kind of going viral at the time, and people were picking that apart and saying, oh my gosh, when he asked about favorite female rappers, she named herself and her mother and Lil Kim instead of naming Nicki. So with this for a minute, I'm going to play devil's advocate for them, for Lotto, for Megan, and for anybody else who named Nicki first and then started naming Lil Kim after that. They fell out with Nicki Minaj. Everybody knows that. So if we're thinking logically, Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, any other female rapper who has fell out with Nicki Minaj isn't going to explicitly name her, because it wouldn't make sense for them to, because they fell out with her. If they don't like her or Nicki don't like them or vice versa, I don't know why people would expect that they would go out of their way to name her. They're not going to. Does that mean that they're not still inspired by her, or that what they said in the past is no longer true? No, I just think that because they have a problem with her, they're not going to speak her name. They're not going to say her name. They're not going to, you know, we should expect that at this point. But do I truly believe, me personally, that Lil Kim is their main inspiration? No. And the reason why I don't believe it is because when in the beginning of your career, before, you know, they fell out, Nicki was the main person that was mentioned when in interviews, when female rap would come up, Nicki was mentioned in most of these girls' interviews. Lil Kim was mentioned too a little bit, but they talked more about Nicki. They had more experiences surrounding her. They named songs of hers that they liked, or things they used to do, you know, as a child when it came to Nicki Minaj. Like, there was way more to talk about. I don't remember a lot of these rap girls naming songs from Lil Kim that they like, or moments of Lil Kim in history that they like, or there's nothing really mentioned about Lil Kim. Like, they say that she's the greatest of all time, yes, which is true, but they're not able to say what they really love about her, because we didn't grow up listening to her. Like, and when I say we, Lotto, Megan, a lot of these girls, a lot of these newer female rap girls we're all the same age. I'm 25, I'll be 26 years this year. We didn't grow up listening to, if you were born in 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, you didn't grow up listening to Lil Kim. Lil Kim is my parents' generation. My dad had a poster. I found out just recently that my dad had a poster of Lil Kim in his room. Huh? We didn't grow up on Lil Kim. We did not grow up on Lil Kim. If you were born in that time frame, we did not grow up on her. So, not to say they can't be inspired by her in some way, but it's less believable when you name Nicki first and change it. And then there's a generation difference. We didn't grow up in that generation at all. Nicki Minaj is our generation's female rapper. She just is. Like, it's not, there really wasn't a lot of other people. There's a few. We had Iggy Azalea, her, a couple others, Remy Ma, you know, a couple, but Nicki was the main one. So it comes off as disingenuous to people when they were saying Nicki, they switch to Lil Kim, but then probably don't know a lot of Lil Kim's music. And if they do know, they know a little bit of it, but they don't know a lot because we didn't grow up listening to Lil Kim. So I believe with like a lot of female rappers who fell out with Nicki Minaj, if they weren't, you know, if they didn't fall out with Nicki Minaj, they probably would still be naming her as their main inspiration, or as, you know, the top female rapper of our generation, or whatever you want to say. That would probably still be the case if they didn't have the beef that they had. But because of the beef that, you know, transpired, that's what changes their answer. So I just saw this conversation floating around, and then one of my subbies wanted me to talk about it. So yeah, that's what I had to say. Everybody is still inspired by Nicki Minaj. I'm not a rapper, but if I started rapping today, me personally, I'm gonna say I know who Lil Kim is, but I'm not gonna name her as my main inspiration, because I didn't grow up listening to Lil Kim. I might have heard a couple of songs by her here and there, but my parents, my mom and dad did not like grow up blasting Lil Kim in the house and stuff like that. And we didn't listen to female rap growing up either. We listened to male rap growing up, old school male rap. Um, so I wouldn't even be able to confidently say that Lil Kim was my main inspiration. If I started rapping tomorrow, I would have to say Nicki. I would have to. Like I would be like it would be I would have to say her. There's nobody else from my generation that you know what I'm saying? So it's not even necessarily about it's just Nicki Minaj was the only person that you could name realistically within my generation. So but y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Maybe y'all don't agree and that's totally fine. Love you down anyways, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.